One thing that we would like for you to understand is that we don't communicate through your words. We read your ideas. So you don't have to find the right words to connect with us. You have to connect with the feeling. You have to open your mind and show your actual understanding. And we can read it energetically. It forms shapes in a way. Kind of when you throw a rock in a calm lake. You throw the rock and then there is a vibration around that place where the rock entered the water. It creates a vibration that forms a geometry, forms a shape. That is how energy works, and that is how we read you. Perhaps in our next conversation we could talk about the shapes and the vibrations that you are creating, because you are creating at all times. But we can understand what is in your heart and in your mind right now. You would like to understand more about interacting in physicality with each other. The exchange of energy that occurs when two or more sparks interact. Yes, we explained that everything around you is a mirror of what's happening within you, and that there is nothing outside of you, and that everything exists within you. We also talked about you creating the illusion of separation from the one spark, but remained connected through your heart to the one spark. And we talked about the distance that you are travel away from the spark. The further away you move from the spark, the more physical you feel. And you move away from the spark by adding filters to your light. And the filters we described as definitions of who you are. All of these were explained in previous conversations. We would like for you to understand now that through that connection, through the string that is always connecting you between this spark and your physical experience, there are infinite levels of existence, and you exist in all those levels. You exist with the layer of being female or male, but also you exist without that filter in a reality where you are not defined by male or female. You exist under the definition of being human, but you also exist without that definition around you. So you exist as non-human. So there are aspects of yourself that exist within the space that is being created between the spark where you belong in and your physical experience. Get an idea of an aspect of yourself that is in between. That aspect of yourself, in a way, in a space, is closer to the one spark. It has less filters, and it is less physical. That aspect of you in between, you could call it your higher self, although there are many versions of your higher self, but we are using terms that are familiar to you. That aspect of yourself wants to understand itself, and it can open itself in many ways, can choose different packages of filters and manifest here on physicality in different ways. Think of this spark as a couple, mother, father, that has many children. They're all coming from the same place, the same home. They all share the same parents, but all the children are different. So you do have aspects of yourself living in much less physical ways that create many aspects of itself in physicality, with the idea of the many aspects interacting with each other, with the idea of helping you in physicality collect information through those interactions, learning from the interactions. Imagine that you have many children and they all have experiences in life, and at the end of the day you get together and you all talk about what's going on in their lives. So you as parent can experience, can understand, can connect with all the experiences of your children. You learn from them, you adjust through them, you expand through them. So, the people that you closely interact with are part of your soul family, but they exist within you. They are all sparks from your higher self spark. And when you manifest on earth, you bring within you all the levels of existence that are between the one spark and your physical experience, your physical self. You project all of it. So within you, you bring your higher selves and you bring all the creations of your higher self. So they all exist within you. So you project them in your mirrors, the same way that they project you through their mirrors. So every time that interaction occurs, you are interacting with an aspect of yourself, and you have the power to adjust yourself through that interaction. It is an environment created by your higher self. Your higher self wanting to understand a reality from both sides of the interaction. But you have the ability to interpret the behavior in your own way. The interpretation of that interaction is unique to you. The understanding that you receive through that interaction is unique. You have the freedom to get the understanding in a way that makes sense to you. And all you have to do is connect with the understanding. Every interaction is very well planned for you to perceive something and for you to decide what you are going to do with that perception, what understanding you want to receive from that interaction, from that perception, and then bring that understanding through all your higher selves until it gets to the one spark, the source. So think of all the people that you interact with closely, all the people that generate an emotion, a challenge in your life, a situation that you can define as good, bad, and everything in between. All the people that somehow are asking you to face yourself and to check at what level is your understanding. Sometimes it is by challenging you. They exist. They all are your brothers and sisters from your higher selves, parents, if you want to think of it that way. They all exist within you, and you project them around you. And perhaps the situations that are created have been already planned, but now the treasure is how you transform, how you evolve, how you expand through that interaction. You also exist as non-human. You also exist in different forms, in different expressions, in different realities. You also exist among us. You are our brother, our sister. And what is occurring now is that the lines of communication are becoming more clear now as you open yourself and remove layers that have been oppressing you for thousands of years. You are allowing more light in you. So now you are existing in a way of physicality that is allowing you to begin a connection with other entities, with other beings, with energies that are not physical, energies that have decided to live in different vibrations. But as brothers and sisters that we are, we also come from one higher self that decided to manifest in different realities. So we exist within you. You exist within all of us. This is a truth that goes beyond your reality. This interaction is also creating now a change in your physical experiences and is creating a change in our experiences, in our reality. But it's also part of the plan. every time things interact with each other, it creates a possibility for more understanding, for more inner knowing. It opens a variety of possibilities in each side. And that is what the light that you and I are coming from is looking for. So think of this central light source dividing itself into a few sparks, and each spark opening itself into many more by adding different layers. And now this third generation of sparks open themselves into many, many more, creating a fourth level of sparks. And one of the sparks within that fourth level opened itself into many, many more, creating a fifth level of experiencing. You can trace back everything to that one spark. But you see, we are all connected. The information is shared through the strings that are connecting us, creating this web, creating this grid that allows Source to expand, to express itself. We are all connected with that grid, and depending on what light you are expressing, depending on the filters that are around you, allows you to remember this truth and allows you to remember your connection with your brothers and sisters. But every time a spark opens itself, creates more possibilities and brings within the knowing, the source of everything that exists. So yes, everyone that you perceive in physicality is real, but exists within you. And you have the freedom to connect with that expression in a way that you desire. Perhaps you don't have control over the situation that brings you together, but 100% of the wisdom that comes from that interaction is up to you. And you can judge the interactions are as good or bad. We always see it as a creation of wisdom. That's how we live within our reality. Duality is a gift that exists within your reality. It helps you to think in one specific way and receive understanding through that way of thinking. But understand this, you are not limited anymore to live in duality. You can remove the filter of duality. Some of you are already working on it. Removing that filter allows you to express more light. And expressing more light will bring you closer to other entities, to aspects of yourself that exist in other realities, that matches the light that you in physicality now are expressing, therefore connecting you with them. you can feel our energy now. You can feel our love now, because we exist within you. We are brothers and sisters. We come from the same spark. And our connection now is allowed, is possible. And we both benefit from this connection. There is infinite love for everyone that manifested in physicality, because we see it from outside as a very constricted and harsh environment. So watching you grow against all the forces of duality brought a lot of wisdom to all of creation. Watching you transform physicality, connecting with your strength, with your persistence, with your commitment, has been a gift for all of creation. So when you individually and collectively feel ready to open yourself, know that we are all here to welcome you in and show you light and love. You've done hard work. You found new paths. You are creating an environment that is welcoming to more beings, to more light through creation. We share, we understand your experiences. We learned through your experiences. That's why we have been telling you that you are not alone, that you are loved, that there is always guide and support around you, because through the grid, we are brothers and sisters. We are aspects of yourself. Our essence is within you, and from that space within you, we love you, and we guide you, and we support you. That's why we are telling you that you are never alone, because we exist within you. Perhaps this can help you to recognize ourselves within you and finally understand this idea of unconditional love, of feeling loved. So use this idea also to understand that all the interactions that you go through in life are also aspects of yourself, even if they bring uneasy moments into your experiences. Understand that they are also loving sparks that exist within you. There are your brothers and sisters. There is a string connecting you heart with heart that will never break apart. Remember to send your love to them, to give to them if you have the opportunity, because you are helping a brother-sister spark to remember its divinity. If you understand yours with your light, help others to understand theirs. We love you. Now, do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if there is someone in your reality that is I'm going to use the words, it's a difficult relationship. I understand that it's also showing something about me, but how what are the learnings? How are you supposed to move through something that on the surface appears like it's not coming from love?
It's always coming from love, because love is what connected you. But if you remember in previous conversations, we defined different levels of love. So love is the magnet that brings you together. But you have the power, you have the ability to give that love a specific meaning, depending of what that connection brings into you. How is that person making you feel? What are the feelings that that person is activating in you? Can you share a few?
Frustration. They're all not what I would put in the not good feeling category.
Okay.
Sadness.
Sadness. When this person, this interaction brings sadness in you, it's showing you that there is sadness within you. There are layers that you added to your own self that is reflecting sadness. What are the layers, the definitions that you give to yourself that this interaction is triggering? Can you be more specific about what sadness means to you?
Yeah, I guess I probably should explain it this way. When there is in various occasions with the interaction, I feel like I am not heard, and I feel like I'm being told what to do, and I feel like I don't belong.
Okay. You have a definition of yourself, a layer that you created that says that when you speak, other people don't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe that when you speak, others don't hear you. That layer had a purpose. But why you now decide to keep that layer in you?
I don't want it.
Okay. We talked about removing layers. So when you connect with your spark and you say, I am that I am, you can say, I am loved and I am understood by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I am heard. And when you start thinking, oh, but I am not, you use the mantra dissolve, dissolve, dissolve. So that person is bringing you an idea that the layer that you got around your light, it's time to remove it. It's not helping you on the path that now you are taking. And that person is constantly reminding you that it is time to remove that layer. So your work now is go within and find all the different layers that are associated with that theme in your life of not being heard. And now start removing and shift from thinking that you are not being heard by knowing that you have power in your voice, that you have a gift, that the things that you express are needed in this world, that your voice is needed, that your understanding is needed. and making a conscious decision that you want to help. You want to bring your understanding, your words into this reality. There is power that now is ready to be activated. Someone is showing you that there is work that you need to get done. There is power in your words. There is power in your voice. There is power in your understanding that you now have to express. You have to dig deep within you and create all the changes within you to be able to express that gift and share it with all of us. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Do you have a further question about this?
No.
Okay. Any other questions?